They are so much like infants, it's crazy.
They start in my house from tiny babies, sometimes fitting in my hand, 1 or 2 days old.
It started as pure shock, but then you couldn't stop me crying for another like 20 minutes.
Hi there, welcome to The Global Good. I'm your host, Shelley Steeves, bringing you a compilation of feel-good stories from across the country. This week, it's all about our furry friends. First up, let's meet a foster parent in New Brunswick who's opened up her home to care for helpless kittens and give them a fighting chance. When Nancy Vanderhorst of New Brunswick invites you into her home, be prepared. The sign says it all.
I just gotta get the mama.
Once a dedicated foster parent, just over a year ago, Nancy opened up her home yet again to orphaned babies. Only these ones meow instead of cry.
He's a new rescue.
Tucked away in a back room, Nancy has opened a kitten neonatal unit. Her rescue, consisting of one, is called Whispering Whiskers. Fully equipped with kitten incubators, she takes in tiny orphans clinging to life and works wonders, nursing them back to health.
These are the babies that if you don't have the equipment and if you don't have the knowledge on how to do it, they'll die.
The kittens, weighing in at only a few ounces, require 24-hour care.
They get weighed every morning. Their little tummies can only hold so much. So you're feeding every hour on the hour.
Each having to be hand-fed using the tiniest of nipples. And just like an infant, after their bellies are full,
What are you doing now?
Burping her. They are so much like infants, it's crazy.
but this cat lady insists she does it for the love of animals, often paying for medications out of her own pocket, spending 24 hours in this room caring for the
You
helpless.
just want to mollywog them more and more and more and more. They stay with me until they're the right size to get spay and neutered. Once they're spay and neutered, then they get adopted.
But at this size, they are totally dependent on their human mom, even to coax them to pee.
Just like a baby, they don't like having their bums done.
With her foster kids all grown and moved away, Nancy's need to nurture is still strong. She knows she can't save them all. This little guy with an upper respiratory infection is clinging to life. But she says,
If you can save one, it was all worth the efforts.
it's hard not to fall in love with those little faces. Now to another foster parent in Saskatchewan who's also opened up her home, only this time to little masked bandits that some people might see as a nuisance, but she sees as orphans who need loving care. Nicole Stilliger has the story.
Get in. For about 4 months out of the year, Haley Heslin's life revolves around taking care of baby raccoons.
It's just a tremendous amount of work, but it's so worth it.
In 2013, the U of S professor started Bandit Ranch Rehab right out of her own home.
They start in my house from tiny babies, sometimes fitting in my hand, 1 or 2 days old, to going into my garage where they're in bigger pens, and then out to the pen you see behind me.
The little ones are bottle fed 5 times per day. Then there are those who are weaning.
I boil eggs for them, about 2.5 dozen every couple of days. I cook chicken for them, chop it up, get the fruit, chop that up.
When the raccoons are about 6 to 8 pounds, they're let go, typically in rural areas where they'll be accepted.
And that's where they become quite wild. They don't see people that often. They become nocturnal.
From the cute and cuddly now to a heartwarming story about a reunion between a little boy and his long-lost cat. You've likely heard the song, "The Cat Came Back," only this time, it certainly wasn't the very next day. After Edmonton's Caleb Etier's cat Loki went missing 9 years ago, he had pretty well given up hope of ever being united with his best buddy. That's until they recently got a shocking call from a local shelter.
They said, yeah, someone brought him in the other day. And I said, okay, well, I'm coming. So I instantly hopped in the car. I went there. He jumped into my arms, and it was crying all around.
It started as pure shock, but then you couldn't stop me crying for another like 20 minutes.
It was one of the happiest moments of my life.
Loki, now 15 years old, looks a little more seasoned than in his younger days, but a tiny microchip placed under his skin proved it was him all right.
To me, it's a miracle after 9 years for him to come home, all because of a microchip.
But where he spent the last 9 years, only Loki knows for sure, but he sure seemed happy to be back in his family's arms, obviously making up for almost a decade of lost lovins. Loki's not the only Canadian kitty who made its way back home after being on a lengthy lam. Meet Snooks, who went missing from her foster parents' home for 18 long months.
She's got a special place in my heart. She was named after my grandfather, and she means a lot to me.
See, Snooks, a little too curious for her own good, got out one day when Justine Carroll was throwing out an old mattress set.
There was a tear in the box spring, some of the mesh netting. We're presuming that she hid in there, and from there she took off outside.
Justine spent months trying to find her beloved kitty, even setting out a live trap and deer hunting cameras, trying to spot the little runner.
I started losing a little bit of hope. I had heard how many fishers were out there, foxes, coyotes. You could hear them at night.
Fearing the worst, 18 long months later, Snooks was spotted. This photo posted to social media, showing her camped out under a car. But where? Justine contacted the poster right away.
So she gave me the address and she said to go check the porch. Usually it's sleeping right on the chair.
And right there under Justine's nose. Turns out that sneaky little Snooks didn't make it very far from that mattress. The home where she was camped out was only 2 blocks from Justine's.
I picked her up in my arms and I literally fell to the ground. I started bawling. I was so overcome by emotion.
Thanks to the power of social media and to a kitty with a limited sense of adventure. And just so those dogs don't feel left out, let's head off to the races now. Wiener dog races, that is. They were held at the Muttstock Festival in Edmonton earlier this month. Their legs may be little, but they can move. The cute factor was almost too much to handle as those stubby little legs darted across the field. Everyone looking for a smile that day was a winner.
And in first place, little champ, Mr. Hunter. Good job! We might have to call him the Red Rocket.
Who knew those little legs could move so quickly? Thanks for watching The Global Good. Don't forget to send us your good news story ideas from across the country. And click that subscribe button and help us share some smiles. Keep smiling.